These are 3 new examples of the amazing work of Jeremy Duncan. He makes walking sticks and cudgels out of, well, these ones are made out of pear wood, so they're springy and hard and very durable. This cudgel has a lanyard so you can hang it somewhere convenient in your home. But if you are like me and you love blunt impact weapons and you collect them and you love collecting walking sticks, please look up Jeremy Duncan. He makes beautiful products. I'm gonna go train a little bit of decampo with the walking sticks and some balintawak with the short cudgel. What I love about Jeremy Duncan's walking sticks is that there is a warmth to natural material. It feels good in the hand. Now don't get me wrong, I love the Blackwood synthetic fiberglass sticks. I will continue to support that company as well. But I love the tradition, the old school tradition of these walking sticks. Now here you see me doing some Enseo or Carenza, and I'm just working with the stick, getting used to its weight, practicing some decampo movement. Now decampo, if you're gonna carry a walking stick, is probably the best Filipino martial arts system for using a cane or a walking stick. It translates really well to longer weapons rather than the short 28-inch traditional, well, I wouldn't say traditional, but the general size that people seem to use in Filipino martial arts. It is a great cane system. Now, as far as double sticks go, I don't really train it for the purpose of fighting. I don't carry 2 walking sticks. However, if you were one of these people who use 2 sticks like ski poles, it might be worth learning a little bit of double stick for personal protection. Now here I am with the cudgel, and I'm doing some basic balintawak type movement because balintawak is a close range art, and this is a close range weapon. For me, the 2 Filipino systems I love the most are Tabuada Balintawak and Decampo 123 Original. Tabuada Balintawak is getting very popular, and Decampo was growing as well, and I'm happy about that. I would hate to see Decampo disappear from the martial landscape because it is so unique and has such brilliant movement. If you're gonna train with a stick or carry a self-defense cane, you need to hit targets. You need to hit heavy bags. Now here I'm using my first Duncan stick. I'm not scuffing up my new ones. Those ones I'm gonna try to keep as pristine as possible. But you see how that pear wood with that counterbalance of the knob end can move very fast. You can generate a lot of torque with a stick this size, but you also have to practice fighting at close range because generally that's where aggressive people end up, in close range. So get used to that range. Get used to adapting to going from largo or medio to corto, to use Filipino terms, and even get into some clinching as well. You have to be very adaptable when it comes to real violence. And you should know how to fight from the floor or fight on the floor as well. You can't become too dependent on your tools. You need good empty hand skills to back up your weapons training. Also, if you carry knives or any smaller weapon, your empty hand skills are the bridge to acquiring that weapon in a bad situation. A weapon is not always the appropriate use of force in every situation. If you're going to do this, if you're going to train for this, don't get too fancy. Keep it simple. Don't train 1,000 techniques. Pick a good core of techniques that you think are practical and train them. Practice to flow from weapon to empty hands, from empty hands to weapon. Do not see yourself as a weapons fighter. Just see yourself as a fighter in general who is willing to use tools to get the job done. When you're watching this video, you'll also notice that I kept in the parts where I missed the target on thrusts. The thrust to the face and the neck missed quite a few times, especially when the target was moving. That's why center of mass shooting is something that police do. Thrusts, like bullets, take a direct linear path to your target. If your target is on either side of that small, narrow, linear path, they do not get struck. A slash, on the other hand, goes through the target, and it is a lot easier to hit the target. However, if you train to generate a lot of power in your thrust, it is a small striking surface and it can cause a lot of damage. It gets a lot of penetration. Thrust to the throat will be quite devastating, as will a direct thrust to the solar plex. When you miss with a thrust, you don't compromise your center line too much as you do if you miss with a slash, especially a really committed slash. But if you know how to strike properly, do a lot of carenza or enseo with your weapon, that should not be much of a problem. With committed training, a walking stick like the ones made by Jeremy Duncan can be a formidable weapon. Even without committed training, it doesn't take much training to understand how to smash somebody with a blunt impact weapon and be effective with it. But if you truly want to be effective with it, put the time in, get good with it, practice, understand how to keep it in your hands. With your partner drilling, concentrate quite a bit on weapons retention and train to go against different sized weapons and someone who's unarmed. Even spar against mismatched weapons. Make it your business to be able to close distance with longer weapons if you're using the shorter weapon or have no weapon. And if you got the longer weapon, make it your business to keep that person away and use the business end of that weapon on them over and over again. This is the way to build practical cane skills and to be able to counter somebody with a blunt impact weapon. In my opinion, these are ways to keep your stick training realistic. Thank you. Have a great day.